This Sunday has me jacked. And I know we still have a portion of the Packers fan base that maybe isn't the biggest fan of Aaron Rodgers, Joshy. But I'm rooting for him. We've talked about this before. I think this is last season. He did so much good in Green Bay. He won four MVPs. He won the Super Bowl with the Packers. He did so much good that it's hard for me to be bitter despite how the divorce ended up, right? I am not at a point where the breakup came and I go, oh, I wish bad things for my ex. I wish all the success in the world for my ex. And in this case, it's Aaron Rodgers. I think he's had a good season for being 41 years old. All things considered, 2 4-touchdown games ain't too shabby for the old vet. We talked about it, I think it was Monday. Or no, it was Friday, excuse me. The end of game heave that went 69 yards in the air. Like, to be able to do that at 41 years old is nice, Josh, despite the number. So, all things considered, rooting for Rodgers, rooting for him to lose on Sunday. But if he plays well, I won't be upset. If we get some vintage Rodgers moments against this Packers defense, I wouldn't be upset. If we get a little Rodgers, Micah Parsons smack talk going in the third quarter, that kind of fire me up. So while I want the Packers to win, obviously, I want the Packers to win every game they play, I wouldn't be mad about seeing him play well. And ultimately, I wouldn't be mad about seeing Rodgers and the Steelers win that division and maybe make a little noise in the postseason. If it was Packers-Steelers in the Super Bowl 15 years later, that'd be fun. It won't happen. And Steelers aren't making the Super Bowl, sorry to break it to you. But, I root for Rodgers' success in what is likely his final season. I'm really excited to see him play the Packers as he tries to become the 5th quarterback to beat all 32 current NFL franchises, joining the company he's often regarded in, right? Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Brett Favre. That's the company he holds when it comes to his overall ranking and his overall standing in National Football League history. So it would be cool for him to complete that. I just hope that it doesn't happen and he does not beat the Packers on Sunday night. I'm also excited for this game because I think this is a good measuring stick game for the Packers. It seems as if they've played down to their competition a lot this season. The Steelers are a better team than the Browns. They're a better team than the Cardinals. They're a better defense. I'm just excited to see what this team is made of when the lights are shining bright on Sunday night. It's a national spotlight. And obviously, you're facing a familiar foe, old friend Aaron Rodgers. So for a bunch of different reasons, this game has me very, very excited Sunday night.
I anticipated to have a little more fire in my belly for this game than I do right now. It's a lot of apathy. The burning hatred of Aaron Rodgers has sort of dissipated a bit. Granted, he's speaking a lot less and voicing his asinine opinions and, lashing out at anybody he seems to have slighted him in any varying degree.
Can I ask you a quick question on that?
Yeah.
Does it upset you that now he's in Pittsburgh and he stopped going on Pat McAfee?
No.
Like that now it happened?
I think it's part of probably a learning process and a process for... let's make two things clear. He hasn't said it. He's admitted his mistakes on how it ended in Green Bay and what transpired in New York. He started being nice to young guys, taking them under his wing, really working with them, which he was totally unwilling to do in Green Bay. So he adjusted that with the Jets. He went to the Jets in part because he wanted the ability to have say in the roster, the coaching staff, and how things were run. After that failed, he then ends up in the place, the next closest thing to Green Bay you can find in the NFL, in the Pittsburgh Steelers. They are run extremely similar. They have their priorities in similar places, and they are run front office wise to a quite similar degree. So to me, those are all him because he'll never say it. Maybe he will after he retires that it was a mistake, but he's recognized and through his actions kind of shown that probably wasn't the right move for me. I wasn't in the right spot in my career where that would have made a lot of sense. So it's kind of I know he wants to beat the Packers and he wants to beat his old head coach, who I think he has a friendly, competitive relationship with. I don't think those two necessarily hate each other, but I know damn well he wants to beat Goody. And he wants to stick it to him.
Yeah, that I agree with.
I still think that hatred is going absolutely nowhere. Especially when they're calling him Guten Kraus after Michael Jordan and with the way they treated Jerry Krause.
Oh, sure.
So yeah, it's like, had he gone and had a ton of success and the Packers were faltering, I think my feelings would change. But I feel good about where the Packers are and are heading in the future. And I don't view him as a real threat to like achieve at a very high level. Yeah. So he's not going to have this amount of success where I can look at and be like, oh.
Do you think this is like a low scoring, gross defensive game? I do too.
The problem is the Steelers' defense has been bad, and they've played mostly bad offenses. Mm-hmm. So there is an opportunity for the Packers there to take advantage of a slow, and not that good defense. I don't think the Packers are going to do that because they haven't done that for the intervening past 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I also don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to go out like a chump against a team I think is better than them. Little teaser, I'm probably going to predict them to lose this game.
Oh,
wow.
Because I think Mike Tomlin as a head coach, Aaron Rodgers as a quarterback, and like as a veteran, they are going to be able to take advantage of the mistakes we haven't seen happen, especially last week, and then in the tie against the Cowboys.
I'm kind of sick of how our brains sometimes are on similar wavelengths. I wasn't going to tease it. I'm also going to pick the Steelers to win this week.
Uh-huh.
It just feels like a uh-oh type game.
Yeah, they get into a similar situation as we've seen them. Tight situation at the end. For the Packers to win and to tie, it took mistakes from the other teams to get there. Uh-huh. And I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to make that mistake. Now, granted, he's throwing more interceptions right now. He's had two interception games.
Yeah, more than he ever has.
Yes, and he's on pace to like set a career high for interceptions at this point, maybe aside from like his first year at this point. But it does seem like he is more prone to mistakes in the past.
Yeah.
But we're going to get the best possible version of 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly on that. So we will see. But we will talk more about this return game on Friday because there's plenty of Aaron Rodgers and Matt LaFleur stuff to talk about. Aaron Rodgers will meet with Green Bay reporters tomorrow.
Yeah.
Which I'm curious to see what he has to say.
On Zoom, too. Hopefully he doesn't show them the bottom of his foot again.
Or maybe he will for old time's sake.
I don't think he says much. I think he handles it like LaFleur. I think he'll get sentimental about some of the guys that he worked with in his time there. But I don't think there's going to be anything in terms of bulletin board or like you could take a lot from this. Now it's Aaron Rodgers. He's liable to do literally anything. And he could decide to grind an axe with somebody he sees in the Zoom who he doesn't particularly like. Like that wouldn't shock me. But he seems to have mostly good with relationship with the people who covered him in Green Bay.
Yeah. Specifically Jason.
Yeah, but like I know Matt Scheibman went out there with the Jets and they did like a one-on-one sit down. You know he's going to call Rob Bob and they're going to laugh about it. He's probably going to make a comment about him being bald. There's going to be some jovial laughter back and forth. He'll show respect to Spoon as he always did. And then compliment Stephanie Sutton on her out of left field question.
Wow.
It's unbelievable how on point that's going to end up being.
Yeah, that was a little creepy.
At the end.
What?
Well,
was it creepy? He's watched that many Aaron Rodgers
I
press
know,
conferences.
I know, but I was like, I'm literally there right now, and I hate how accurate this is. And the order, too, might be exactly right, too.
Yeah, it's true.
Because Stephanie's questions usually come towards the end after everybody's asked the actual, and not to dismiss what she's asking. I think she's asked some incredible questions.
She's terrific.
And got amazing answers from him. But usually the questions are like, how are you going to feature back then Romeo Dobbs more? And then it'll be something more personal life Aaron Rodgers. And then, I mean, that's when he's the most interesting.
You think they're going to ask him about getting married?
That's a great question. We should ask Jason that. That's a great question for you to pose on Weekly Wildy. tomorrow morning.
Oh, yeah. I talked to him before the Zoom.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
Somebody's got to fall on the sword.
Yeah. We have Rob on Kyle Preston Nortman at 2:30 today, so I'll have those guys ask him too.
Yeah.
We need to put it in as many years as possible because I want to hear him talk to Green Bay reporters about that.
He'll probably say it's none of your business.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But the other side is because he has such a much more personal relationship with those guys, he might be more willing to open up to them about it.
That's what I was getting at. Yeah, I agree with Hunter on that. So maybe we'll all find out. I still find that whole situation fascinating. We know her name's Brittany, and that's it.
With an I.
And allegedly they got married. Yeah, with an I.
Yeah, and he sort of mentioned that offhandedly once in a
Pat McAfee Christmas interview.
And I don't think he did it on purpose. I think it kind of just slipped out because that's what he calls her.
Yeah.
And he felt comfortable and then realized, I probably shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, correct.
But since then, they've been able to keep her. I'm not super interested. I would be probably more interested if it was a celebrity.
But you have to understand how much digging has been done to try to figure out who she is, and nobody can figure it out.
Well, the thing is, there is no marriage license in any of the American states.
Oh, you think they did it on like an ayahuasca trip?
Yes, or they just didn't actually get married. They're just calling it marriage, and they're not going through because it's a government thing, and we are bonded for life.
Here we go.
Well,
no, that's not a here we go. There's plenty of people that do that. That's a very normal thing, Strofe.
No. He's doing a thing on Aaron Rodgers. That's what he's doing.
No, because if it was a normal legal marriage, we would be able to find records of it because those are of public record.